During World War II, the United States lost roughly 407,000 soldiers and officers killed in action. About 250,000 of them fell in the European theater. The opening of this second front began with the Normandy landings, the operation designed to liberate France and push deeper into Europe by breaking the German defensive lines. According to modern estimates, the Allies lost around 10,000 men during D-Day, including the wounded. Out of this number, 4,413 American and Allied soldiers were killed or went missing. If you remember the famous film Saving Private Ryan, it begins with the brutal landing of U.S. troops on Omaha Beach under heavy German machine gun fire. And here's where our story takes a sharp turn. According to German machine gunner Heinrich Severloh, he alone, thanks to the advantageous position of his firing sector, may have killed around 2,000 American soldiers on that day, nearly half of all U.S. losses on Omaha Beach. Even if he exaggerated, the casualties caused by his MG-42 were still catastrophic. Heinrich Severloh was born on June 23, 1923, in a farmer's family. He was far from an ideal soldier. First, he served in a reserve division, then was assigned as a motorcycle courier in the 321st Artillery Regiment in France. Later, he was sent to the Eastern Front, working in a rear-area horse transport unit. For insulting remarks and repeated violations of military discipline, he was sent to a punishment labor unit, where he damaged his health. After months in hospital, he returned to his division, now redeployed to Normandy, to Resistance Point 62 overlooking Omaha Beach. The American landing took place along an 80-kilometer stretch of coastline, with Omaha being just one of 5 landing zones. Almost everywhere else the assault went relatively smoothly. U.S. forces quickly overwhelmed German strongpoints. But Omaha was the exception. Here the Germans fought bitterly, mowing down assault troops with machine gun fire. Thousands of American soldiers were moving slowly toward the beach in front of our bunker, Severloh later recalled. In that moment the whole bay was quiet. Not a single shot. Everything looked so calm, so organized, as if they were performing drills. They looked like confused lambs walking straight into a slaughterhouse. Severloh was in his firing nest when the landings began, pouring nonstop fire from his MG-42. He also had 2 Carabiner 98K rifles at his disposal. They were right there, as if in the palm of my hand. I saw the splashes of bullets hitting them, the terrified, twisted faces. At first it took some effort to adjust, to figure out how to take them down with the first burst. Then it got easier. I waited for the landing craft ramps to open, letting out a new wave of gray figures, and fired directly into the openings. They crawled, ran, tried to hide behind the bodies of their fallen comrades. The beach was already covered with them. But the bullets from my MG-42 went right through any cover. Severloh kept count of the men he shot. He estimated about 2,000. Of course, these figures were almost certainly inflated. In the chaos of combat, it's impossible to know who was killed and who was wounded, and his counting was at best approximate. Still, the sheer scale of casualties attributed to him earned him the nickname, the Beast of Omaha. Eventually, American forces broke through the German defenses and reached the rear of Resistance Point 62. The German officer in command was killed. Severloh himself was ordered to escort 4 American POWs to the German command post in the village of Colleville-sur-Mer, guarded by only 2 German soldiers. U.S. troops stormed the position, freed the prisoners, and captured Severloh instead. As a POW, he was sent through Boston to Mississippi, where he worked harvesting potatoes and cotton. Later he was transferred to England to build roads. He didn't stay long. In 1947, he was sent back home to Germany. In later interviews, Heinrich claimed he never touched a weapon again after becoming a prisoner. He insisted he genuinely pitied the young men of the U.S. 1st Infantry Division, many of whom were wiped out on the beach that day. He said he would never want to trade places with them. Interestingly, he eventually met one of the men he had shot at, 19-year-old David Silva, who survived his wounds. After recovering, Silva became a chaplain in the U.S. Army. In the 1960s, he moved to Karlsruhe, Germany, and met Severloh multiple times. The former enemies even became friends. Their story was later turned into a documentary titled The Enemies of Omaha Beach, the story of an unusual friendship. Heinrich lived until 2006. So what do you think about the central figure of this story? Did he deserve punishment? Or was he simply another soldier caught in the machinery of war? Share your thoughts in the comments.